What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Under Review, Episode 7.
Here we are, Episode 7. Got some baseball talk for you.
Yeah, a little bit of a different feel because we've just been talking about football for pretty much every episode so far,
Right.
and now we're shifting
We're not
gears.
a football podcast. We're a sports podcast.
And
Talk
we've
about
been
everything.
wanting to talk about baseball for a while. Obviously, we will discuss why we can't always talk about baseball right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just excited for this episode, talking some baseball. Nick, nice hat, by the way.
Yeah, it's actually this really cool podcast called Under Review. Have you heard of it?
I have not. What is it about?
So it's these two really hot guys that have their own sports podcast.
Ooh,
They
okay.
talk everything sports related, and they just dropped some merch. They have hats and mugs as of right now.
Well, you had me at hot. I'm going to go buy a hat and a mug.
Oh, all right.
There we go. Yeah, we have hats and mugs as merch. So if you're interested in a hat or a mug, check them out on our Instagram page. They are posted.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then you can text us or DM us or whatever you need to do to get one of
hold
those.
us in any way.
But let's dive right in to some MLB talk. What do you think, Nick? So
I think so.
our stat of the week is brought to you by the sponsor of our merch, Andrew's Logistics.
Absolutely.
We would like to thank them for being awesome and a sponsor. But our stat of the week is that the Baltimore Orioles only use up their roster salary at $42 million. So that is $100 million less than the top 14 teams in the league. So the Orioles only spend $42 million on their players. They are officially what we like to call in the sports world tanking.
Tanking, yes.
Which is honestly, in my opinion, I don't like tanking. I think it's dumb. They're purposefully losing in order to get higher draft picks. They're purposefully not signing like great players, which is why they're only spending $42 million on their players.
Kind of dumb if you ask me.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not very
pointless.
smart, and like no one likes to go out there and lose. So that's our stat of the week, brought to you by Andrew's Logistics.
Now for our player of the week.
This is a good one
We're
right
gonna
here.
get to some Rangers talk later, so I thought why not have a Rangers legend as the player of the week. It is Adrian Beltre.
Adrian.
Played
Love
a
that
total
guy.
of 21 seasons in the MLB. Played for 4 different teams. Played over 2,000 games. Had over 3,000 hits, 477 homers, and 1,707 RBIs, and his career batting average was .286. Dude was an absolute menace. He was a stud over at third base, as well as all of these hitting stats. He just would make some immaculate throws every now and then. The swing
scary.
to the knee was pretty iconic.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
that's probably one of my favorite things about him.
He was scary at the plate, and he was scary on the field.
Right.
And he is my favorite baseball player of all time.
Oh, absolutely.
And the reason I wore 29 as my number growing up, playing baseball,
Just an inspirational figure all
love
around.
Adrian Beltre. First ballot Hall of Famer all the way. If not, I'm going to have some problems with
We're going to have an
the
issue.
MLB.
We already do have a problem with the MLB.
We do have a problem with the MLB, and I think that's a great segue
That's a
into what
great,
we're going to talk
yes,
about.
Transition to our next topic.
Let's talk about the MLB. So we did hint in a couple episodes ago that the MLB is being childish.
Right.
They're acting like children, for lack of a better term, because I think that is the perfect term.
Mm-hmm.
So as of right now, it is 1:21 Central Time on Tuesday, March 1st. As of right now, the MLB is still on lockout.
They've been on lockout for a while.
And lockout
too.
basically means that there is no payments being made to players. Players are not allowed in teams' facilities. Basically, the owners and the MLB are on one side, and the Players Association,
There's like the players' union. Or
the
whatever.
union, yeah, they're on the other side. And these two sides, it's time to renew the collective bargaining agreement, which is
Right.
the agreement made between MLB and the owners with the Players Union. And a lot of it has to do with money and revenue.
I think this has been coming for a while.
Has been coming for a
It
while.
was gonna
Tensions have
happen
been building.
sooner or later.
Players aren't happy with what was in the last collective bargaining agreement
Right.
because it favored the owners in a lot of ways, and the owners actually want more stuff done in the new one. So they're trying to negotiate, and they've been trying to negotiate for the last 7 straight days. I think last night talks went until about 2 a.m. is what I heard, and now they're taking a brief break, and they're back at it again right now. And we should have the decision by today at 4 Central Time, 5 Eastern.
Hopefully we can get that decision, because I think it'd be really annoying to not have a lot of baseball games, because obviously if they don't come to agreement, then that means that they're gonna have to cut down on some games, and
They're going to have
obviously
to cut down on games.
that's no fun for anybody, because I don't know
want
about
baseball.
you, but I'm ready for some baseball.
I'm so ready for some baseball.
I'm so stoked, especially because I feel like the Rangers are going to be very promising. But we will talk about
we will talk about that later.
In a bit.
But
so
let me go over. So I actually was kind of confused, and I think a lot of the United States of America was kind of confused on why there's a lockout, what the disagreement is. So let me just kind of briefly go over.
Enlighten us.
What the owners want from the players. The owners want to expand the playoffs. And they also, because expanding the playoffs means, obviously, there's 162 games in baseball. So
already a ton.
The regular season doesn't make a lot of money for them because no one watches every single game except for us, because we're avid baseball fans. But the money that the owners make from their teams comes from the playoffs.
I believe they were also talking about possibly maybe doing a 12-team scenario, kind of expanding the view, right? So you could have more teams playing.
More teams, which means more money for those teams.
I think that might be cool to watch.
I think it would be cool
have
too.
More playoff baseball, and that leaves more opportunities for more teams.
I think they'd get more more people watching too, more viewers. So I mean, the owners, though, you get more revenue when your team makes it to the playoffs when people watch. So, but the players don't really see any of that revenue. That doesn't go to them. That goes to the team. And so that's why the owners want that. But the owners have said that they would be willing to cut the season down from 162 games to 154 games. And then they have also said that they will institute a universal DH, meaning that not just the American League, but also the National League has a DH, which the players have also been requesting. So that's what the owners want and what they've presented at the very beginning of the lockout. And the players, they want free agency changed from after your first 6 years in the league is what it is right now. You get to be a free agent, but they want it moved down to 5 because they feel like your prime only lasts for so long. And age is such a big deal in baseball to teams and stuff. Like if you're a certain age, like they won't sign you or they'll pay you less. And so also players have been saying that they want freedom after 5 years because teams have been using the age and contract issues to not let them go to the league where they get paid more money if they get moved up to the majors.
Well, the thing is like you have to grind out. There's so many leagues under. So you have low A, you have high A, you have double A, you have triple A, and then you have the Arizona Fall League. Like there are so many aspects that you have to get through before you can even be considered for the major leagues. Like Jack Leiter, for example, he was drafted very, very high for the Rangers. I mean, he didn't see the field this past season, right? He's been working all day, all year with the Rough Riders, trying to get ready for the majors. And he still hasn't even been called up yet. But obviously, hopefully he will, because I feel like he could be very lethal because, we're struggling at the pitcher position right now.
And every position.
But I do see some validity in asking for free agency to be moved down to 5 years rather than 6.
Yeah, but also at the same time, basically that's what both sides are presenting. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, they won't come to an agreement. Neither one really wants to compromise. And so basically you've got a professional argument going on right here with the two sides. And if they can't figure this thing out in 3 hours, the games will be pushed back.
But it's just crazy because we've been on lockout for so long. I don't know what the exact
It started on
day
December
is.
2nd.
Okay, yeah, December 2nd. But
So this has almost been...
It's almost been 2 months.
No, this would be
I'm sorry. I'm stupid. Yeah, I don't know where 2 came from. Well, either way, it's been a long time.
It's been way too long.
They should have...
It's been 3. Let me correct myself.
It's 3. Yeah.
3 months.
They definitely should have, in my opinion, come to an agreement by now. What doesn't make sense is how they're trying to they set the deadline of today at 4, right? But they've been trying to cram in meetings the past 3 days. Like they're pulling all-nighters, talking with each other.
It's been 7 days so far.
They should have been talking like these whole couple months, right?
They've been coming together like every few weeks, and it's been taking
you need
forever.
to be getting together every single day
because now
to figure this problem
whole thing's
out.
about money, right? Everyone's about to start losing money. If you can't start the season on time,
if you don't
everybody
figure it
starts
out,
losing money.
so many organizations are going to lose money.
Players and owners and teams and the MLB itself, they're all going to lose money. And so
Right.
they all say they want to get a deal done soon. They're hoping to get a deal done today. Nobody really knows. Let's just go ahead and say it now. No matter what they decide, both sides are probably not going to be completely happy.
Yeah, no
That's
one's
what
gonna be
normally
happy.
happens in a negotiation.
I don't really care as long as they just get baseball.
We just
on
want
time.
some baseball
I want
back
baseball on
because
time.
we love baseball. We both grew up playing baseball. And it's just obviously America's national pastime, and it's just classic. And we're ready to talk about it. We're ready to talk about. We love the Texas Rangers here. We're basically an all Dallas,
be a dominant
all
force
Dallas loving podcast
here in the next couple years.
Yeah, so we can't wait to talk about that kind of stuff, and I really hope in the next few hours that the players,
They can just
owners, and
figure
MLB
it out, man.
just agree, or just compromise.
Figure out something.
Hey,
like I said, I don't really care what the agreement is. Just figure it out.
Let me just present this in any relationship, business relationship, personal relationship, compromises have to be made. Okay,
Right.
you have to be willing to compromise. So compromise to, like, I think they counteroffered to the players 5.5 years. They're like, no, we want 5. Just take the 5.5 years, dude. Like 6 months isn't gonna kill you.
Yeah.
And then, like, they've been counteroffering to the owners too, and they won't do it. Like, the owners are already, if you own a professional baseball team,
Okay,
I think you're pretty well
I don't
off.
understand why they're trying to get the 162 games down to 154.
It's like 8 games.
That's What are those 8 games gonna do?
Exactly.
Just leave it. That just causes another argument that doesn't need to happen. Like the biggest thing right now that they have to figure out is the whole player free agency situation.
I think that is the biggest thing that they're debating right now.
All
Because I think the
other
players
stuff doesn't matter. Like that
I think
shouldn't
the players
be argued.
will be okay with a 12-team playoff. I think they'll be okay with the game
they'll be cool with
changes
that.
and the
They should
DH.
be.
But I think they really
because
want
they've
some,
been asking for the universal DH. So obviously, giving it to them is not going to be
and the
a
game
problem.
changes. They
Yeah.
want those too, so they'll
Right.
they'll take those probably.
So they just need to figure out the free agency thing, and then I think it should be smooth sailing from there if they can get that worked out between themselves.
Let us hope that they can.
I
But
certainly hope so.
enough talk about that.
Let
We
us move on.
actually received some news yesterday from our sources at ESPN.com.
They actually told us before they released it out.
Yeah, we both got a call
Yeah.
from
They're just like, hey, can y'all mention the Jeter leaving the Marlins real
So, yeah,
quick? We haven't put it out to the world yet. We just wanted to let y'all know first.
Derek
so y'all can have it on
Jeter
your show.
has stepped down as CEO and shareholder of the Miami Marlins after 4.5 years there at that organization. Let me just say this before we go into talking about it. In the 4 years that Jeter has been a large part of this organization, they have the 4th lowest winning percentage.
They've been
pretty
atrocity.
bad. Pretty bad. And as soon as he got there, they traded away all their good players.
Well, see, what's funny is like you look at all the other all the players that they have had go through their organization, and if they kept them, they would have been absolute studs. Like you have JT Realmuto, Marcelo Zuna, D. Gordon, Giancarlo Stanton, Christian Yelich. Those are 5 dudes that are no longer on the Marlins, but they're an absolute force on the organization that they're in. So you think they kept those 5? If they could have found a way to keep all 5 of
That's
those
5 out of 9
dudes,
guys on the field that are amazing.
those are 5 studs.
Yes.
So
So Derek Jeter has stepped down. I don't think we know the reason why exactly, but it's probably because his reputation as obviously one of the greatest players of all time, obviously one of the best shortstops of all time,
For sure.
one of the most clutch players of all time, known
His
as
nickname was Mr. November.
which means
and the captain. So it doesn't get much better than that.
Basically, when the lights were brightest is when he played the greatest.
Exactly.
And
Game is on the
now,
line. He's in his
now
prime.
he's known as this guy that cannot manage a team, actually.
Just manage. Yeah, that's what
Make
it is.
decisions, make the right decisions in a baseball organization. So now he is getting tons and tons of just slander on the fact that he, doesn't know how to run a team.
Right. And obviously
So-
he just wants to be, I feel he kind of just wants to be known as one of the best shortstops in
Yes.
baseball. You know, like he doesn't want to be known as the guy that stunk it up in the Marlins.
No,
headquarters
nobody
or
would.
whatever.
But
I agree,
I think what happened is honestly, like, I don't think you can't put Miami and everything going on in Miami on Derek because
Oh yeah,
they've been terrible.
They've
for
been
so
terrible
long.
for a while.
So he stepped into a bad organization and it didn't get good. It stayed bad.
Right.
I don't think that's Derek's fault necessarily.
Yeah.
What I have been hearing, and I kind of agree with this, and I want to see what you think about this. I do like the idea of the Yankees. First of all, I think the Yankees owe it to him. Second of all, I think the Yankees should put him somewhere in their organization.
Oh,
now, obviously
absolutely.
not CEO or something, but he should have a part in some baseball decisions because Derek Jeter, to be a shortstop in the major leagues and
what I
do
was
it
gonna
as he
say
did it,
is,
you have
like,
to be smart.
Just because he didn't turn around the Marlins organization doesn't mean, oh, he's trash at being able to manage a team.
Right.
No, he got put in a tough situation, right? And there was no way out of it. And I feel like if you put him in a great situation, like you said, the New York Yankees, I feel like he could do a lot of good there. It's
I
kinda
do
like,
too.
The Marlins are low-key like the Lions of baseball.
Well,
you know?
also, you're working with, and he knows this, you're working with so much more money
You've got
and revenue as
yeah.
the New York Yankees.
They
that
can go
you
out and get whoever they want.
One of the greatest things about baseball, and also one of the worst things about baseball, is that there's no salary cap. And
Yeah.
so, as the Yankees, you pretty much can do whatever you want. Like, that's why last
They're
year,
the richest franchise.
I think last
one
year,
of the richest.
they paid their players over $1 billion,
yeah.
right? While the Orioles are paying only $42 million. Like, just to put that in perspective. Like, that's crazy. And
Those are Moneyball numbers.
I was about to say,
if you catch my drift.
y'all need to go watch Moneyball. One of the best movies I've ever seen. Definitely top sports movies of all time.
Right.
But it's a lot about revenue like this. But the Yankees have always been known to be big spenders because they have money. There's no salary
they're
cap.
kind of like the Lakers.
So if
you know
he
what I'm
went to-
saying? Like they just go out and buy superstars because they have all this money that they can literally go out and get whoever they want. So I feel like they should totally go out and get Jeter, and then when he's in their I guess headquarters in their office is what I was trying to say. When he's in their office, he can do a lot of good. I feel like he has an eye for talent, and obviously, like you said, he played shortstop at a professional level, and he was very good at it.
I was going to say,
so he's got a great baseball IQ, and I think that could be very beneficial
one of
for
the
the Yankees.
positions that takes a lot of just mentality, intellect.
right.
So he has it, and he's also a successful businessman.
Yeah.
So I think that
You can't blame what happened to the Marlins on
No.
him.
So all these people that want to blame
He just
Jeter
got
for
thrown
the
in a dumpster
Marlins
fire
being
and
bad,
couldn't do anything about it.
No, you can't. That's like, walking into the Jacksonville Jaguars, not being able to change them around. They just stink.
Yeah.
Like
Like
there's no getting around the fact that they can't
Urban
play.
Meyer's fault that they were trash.
No.
Obviously, he didn't really help
No, he
them
didn't
that
help.
much, but like they're already bad, so
Yeah.
I don't know what you want. Like, yeah, it's whatever.
So Doug Peterson, I'm assuming he's also, just about Jacksonville. Doug Peterson.
When it's like they're
he's
not going
going
to
in.
turn
He's not
the
going to change
franchise
it.
around in a season. Like it's going to take
No.
a while,
It'll-
especially when your franchise is that bad.
Yeah. So I think this can't be put on Derek at all. I mean, obviously, like he didn't make it better, but it's very hard to change an organization like that.
Right.
I think Yankees, give him a shot. First of all, you owe it to him. You got World Series because of this guy.
He gave you so many years of his life.
Yes.
And he was successful. Like
Super successful.
the Yankees were really good when they had him.
So I say give him a shot.
sure.
I love Derek Jeter. I know you like
I
him a
like
lot,
Derek,
and we definitely wish him the best. Obviously, he's gonna be fine. He's not.
I was about to say
he'll live.
He will
But-
be totally fine.
I hope
He'll
he's-
make it through the night.
I think he makes baseball better. So I think if he stays in baseball, it definitely will just make the sport better in general. I don't want him to leave
It was
baseball.
kind of cool to know that Jeter still has like a foothold in the game, even though it
Rangers.
only was.
Jeter is out there. Please.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Please.
Like
Do something
we
smart.
said the Yankees owe it to him, but that doesn't mean that we want him to go there. I would love for him to come to
I
the
want him
Rangers.
to go to
That'd
the
be
Rangers.
amazing.
Absolutely.
I would love to have Derek Jeter.
Jeter, I know you're
up in the
listening
booth
right now.
For us.
Please go to the Rangers.
Consider the Rangers.
And come on under review.
All I'm saying is they've got. I just have this long list of all this free agency stuff that the Rangers have done. So, I mean, you're looking at a stud franchise if you ask me.
And Derek, you could definitely help.
You could be the
But-
one at the helm.
We wish him the best.
Absolutely. No matter what
So-
happens, I hope he succeeds.
Now, let's
Let
talk
us
about.
move on.
So, obviously, free agency got cut short because of the lockout. Teams can't make moves, sign players. But we can definitely talk about some stuff that happened before the lockout.
Dude, but I will say this. As soon as lockout ends, it is going to be
It's gonna be
frenzy,
nuts.
dude. It is going to be crazy. We're going to get notification
kind of
after
excited.
notification about this guy's going here, this guy's signed to this and that.
I think obviously
It was already low-key a frenzy like before the lockout happened.
I think
you know?
before, I think like even behind the scenes, I'm sure there have been some stuff, even though
yeah.
it's not allowed.
There's no way they're like nothing's going on.
Nothing's going on. Yeah, so I'm sure some moves are being made to be finalized after the
So
lockout
like they're going to be
ends,
finalized as soon as the lockout happens. You're going to see like this, and this as soon as lockout
and
ends.
it's going to be awesome. But let's talk some free agent moves that happened before the lockout.
right. Let us.
Most notable to you, go.
Obviously, I'm going to just give off the Rangers ones because that, in my opinion, is the most notable.
I agree.
Those are the ones that I noticed.
Well, I think in the the Rangers made the best offseason moves before the lockout happened.
For sure.
In general. That's not biased.
Out of everyone.
Yeah,
And,
I'm not being biased about that.
So let's just go through. We signed Corey Seager to a $325 million 10-year deal. Marcus Semien, $175 million 7-year deal. Cole Calhoun was a $5.2 million 1-year deal. I didn't really see the point in that, but whatever. And then John Gray was $56 million 4-year deal. So now the Rangers, I think, have the best middle infield in the game, made up of Corey Seager.
They definitely have
and
the most
Marcus
expensive
Semien.
one. That's for sure.
The Cole Calhoun sign doesn't really make sense to me. Like, I don't know why you'd sign a guy for 1 year because the Rangers aren't going to do it this year. Like, with the Seager, the Semien, and the Gray signing, that's building the team now for the next couple of years.
I agree.
Like, with Calhoun on a 1-year deal, that's kind of stupid, in my opinion. I mean, just means there's no faith
I was
there.
going to say, what we've been so good at is signing old veterans to 1-year deals, and it doesn't work out.
His days are behind him. His prime days are behind him.
Like, happy with the Seager signing and Semien signing.
Because, dude, those are guys
young
that
dudes,
are young, but
talented.
they've already proven themselves to be very, very good. And so, but they
Seager's
have
won a World Series.
plenty of good days ahead of them.
So, yeah, I'm super excited for the Rangers middle infield.
Yeah.
And I think we just continued, but we obviously spent a lot of money on them, but I think it was worth it.
Yeah.
If you look at the contracts that are being signed now, like, you do have to spend a lot of money for good players. Like Juan Soto,
Right.
what were we saying? He turned down a 10-year, $350 million deal.
Absolutely crazy.
So
He is a he's a stud though, so he knows that if he turns that down, that like that's not the end of the world for him, right? That something else is gonna.
I think Juan
up,
Soto is probably gonna sign a 1-year deal this year with the Nationals.
Maybe he could. Maybe the Rangers go out and get him.
Dude, if the Rangers snag Juan Soto, they're
gonna be lethal.
I would faint. That
Absolutely
would be amazing.
lethal. Like,
ticket prices would skyrocket.
oh, absolutely.
Well, they already are, but like
I was about to say they already are because they got Corey Seager, and everyone's gonna want to watch Corey Seager. Like, I'd love to have a Corey Seager jersey.
Hey, Corey Seager, send us
Feel
a
free to
signed
send
jersey,
me a free jersey.
please,
Yeah.
and come on the show.
Oh, absolutely.
But super pumped for the Rangers offseason moves.
Obviously,
It's been a long time since the Rangers have made good offseason moves. And we are super excited to see that our ownership is not as
trash as we thought it was.
Not intelligent
Like,
might be the more professional term.
well, trash is what it is, so that's what I'm gonna
Well,
say.
let's just unintelligent.
True.
Unintelligent moves
All right, whatever.
by the Rangers.
Anyway, so I think with the Corey Seager move, I think that could maybe put us in a spot to maybe snag Clayton Kershaw because obviously Dallas is home
To Clayton.
to Clayton, and he's won a World
played
Series
with Matt Stafford.
with Corey Seager. So there's that. They already have that special bond because they won a championship together.
Yeah.
And they played multiple seasons together. So I feel like maybe Corey Seager can help convince Clayton to come to Dallas, which would be huge because I know
He is.
we have a lot of
is
issues
older.
in our pitcher room.
He is older, but he's got a lot of
He's
experience.
definitely better than what we've got.
I agree. I think Clayton would be a huge signing.
Yeah,
Also,
absolutely.
in the MLB, right, it's very hard to get these box office signings. Clayton
Mm-hmm.
would be a huge publicity boost for Texas Rangers. That's the thing with the MLB. If you're not the Dodgers or the Yankees or somewhere like that,
The Red
it's
Sox.
hard. Yeah,
Yeah.
or the Red Sox, it's hard to get noticed. So it would be awesome to be out there. We already kind of are with Corey Seager, but Clayton would be a ginormous signing.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Dodgers are going to run it back. I know they have a lot of money, but I think that they had, that year that they won it, good for them. But I don't
They
think
should
they're
have.
going
They
back.
should have honestly done it again with their star-studded lineup
Yes.
that they had this year. But
The Braves came out of nowhere
yeah, seriously, like
without their best player, Acuna.
yeah, Ronald Acuna.
Yeah, I was super happy though. The Braves whooped up on the Astros.
Oh, absolutely.
You will hear no
Love to see
compliments about the Astros
Love to
on
see
this
it.
show ever.
Well, I don't, because are they deserving?
No,
I don't
they're
think so.
not.
Yeah.
Also,
There's a little
2017
asterisk next to that
2017 does not
season.
count. There's no asterisk. It doesn't count.
Yeah.
In my book, cross it out. I say suspend all the players or just
Yeah.
eject them from the league.
Around here, they're the Houston Asterisks, not the Astros. They're the Asterisks.
Exactly. No love for the Astros. You can't cheat and win a World Series and keep the trophy because normally, like I don't know about you, but I've been taught that cheating is wrong, and that
Well,
when you cheat, it doesn't count.
That was at least my understanding.
That was my understanding of cheating in this world. Even like at school, if you cheat, you get a 0.
Right.
So if you cheat and win the World Series, I guess you just get to keep it. You just get a little slap on the wrist. Don't do that again.
Well,
There
see,
you
like
go.
in the business world, what happens if you're like, like fraud/cheating? Okay, fraud in my opinion is
No, I agree with you.
equivalent to cheating in the business world. What happens? You get fired, and you most likely
Go to
jail.
prison, or you get a huge fine.
Oh,
So-
but I guess in baseball you get to keep your trophy. Is that?
I guess
is that what
so.
It is?
I guess so.
It doesn't make sense to me.
If it was up to us, I don't think they would be a team anymore.
Hey, that's what they need to be talking about on the lockout is
Exactly.
taking out the
the
trophy.
Astros. In
Oh,
the next 2
absolutely.
hours, talk about taking the Astros out.
Yeah. Well, here's we like to end our shows. We have our quote of the week.
A baseball quote.
It is a baseball quote in light of the baseball theme. Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. And that was said by the great Bambino,
Babe
the
Ruth.
Sultan of SWAT. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed our first baseball episode.
Yeah, this would be the first of many.
Hopefully, very many more.
Keep an eye on your sports apps, on social media, and
See
hopefully
what happens with the lockout situation.
by tomorrow when this episode is released, we will know definite
Mm-hmm.
whether or not baseball is being played. But we hope y'all have a great week. Can't wait to see y'all next week.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for tuning in to Under Review.
See you next time.